By the night of the 4th of December, the Indian Navy's assets were well positioned some 70 miles off the coast of Karachi. Striking stealthily, the Indian Navy planned to take the Pakistanis completely by surprise as soon as hostilities began, simultaneously pounding them with aerial bombardment. A night attack would also restrict any air support by the Pakistani Air Force. 22:30 yards. The INS Nilghat sighted and engaged its first target, the Pakistani destroyer PNS Khyber. The INS Nilghat fired the first Styx anti-ship missile, and the Pakistanis observed a bright light approaching them from the starboard side. The Pakistanis mistook this to be aircraft fire, sounded the alarms and engaged their Bofors guns. This confusion was compounded by the fact that the Indian Air Force had also launched its aerial attack simultaneously. An SOS call was sent by the Khyber. Enemy aircraft attacked, ships stopped. However, even this transmission sent incorrect coordinates of the ship's position, which added to the chaos. The Pakistanis on the PNS Khyber were gripped in panic with no idea of where their attackers lay. Frantic SOS calls by the naval base to the Pakistani Air Force were turned down, citing that no aircraft was available. With India's second strike, the PNS Khyber went down, engulfed in thick smoke. 2300 hours. INS Nipat identifies two targets approaching Karachi: the Venus Challenger, a merchant ship, and the destroyer PNS Shahjahan. The Venus Challenger, a key target, was carrying near full load of ammunition for the Pakistani army and exploded in flames as the Indians fired on point. The Shahjahan sank in about 8 minutes after being hit by an Indian missile. 23:20 hours. INS Veer's missile hits minesweeper PNS Muhafiz, destroying the vessel before she could send a transmission to the Pakistani command. INS Nipat continues towards Karachi and locks onto the prize target, the giant oil installations at the port of Kemari, some 14 nautical miles south of the harbour. At 1 minute to midnight, Nipat fired 2 missiles at the fuel storage tanks, one of which was a direct shot. Soon the horizon filled with fire as the massive lethal flames spread. Karachi port burned for 7 days, at the end of which Pakistan Navy decided to withdraw all naval surface ships to harbour. There were $3 billion worth of damage, and most of Pakistan's oil reserves and ammunition had been destroyed. Perhaps the most brilliant part of Operation Trident was the audacious attack planned to perfection and executed flawlessly by the Indian Navy and the Indian Air Force in a sea and air strike. From the 7th of December onwards, Indian Navy's Western Fleet controlled the waters approaching Karachi. The Pakistan Navy was neutralized in the west, and Karachi port was inactive for the duration of the war.